Okay, college football week 12. We're going to talk Virginia and Notre Dame. But first, let's get the marketing out of the way. 2 coupon codes for you to use this week at Wager Talk. Coupon code FBALL50 get you $50 off any full season college football or NFL package. And then coupon code BBALL30, $50 off any 30-day college basketball or NBA package. College basketball is in full swing. I'm off to a great start in college hoop. And coupon code BBALL30 will get you $50 off of my 30-day college basketball package. So let's get into it. It's Virginia at Notre Dame. And interesting game here. So I think some people will say, okay, well, Pitt lost the SMU game twice. Of course, Pitt blown out by SMU for their first loss of the season, and then come back home the week after and lay an egg, losing as a touchdown favorite to Virginia. But my counter to that is Virginia is fantastic as an underdog. If you go back to 2020, as a double-digit underdog, Virginia is 8-1 against the spread. And already this year, they're 3-0, I believe, as a 7-point underdog or more. Cover against Louisville, of course, the outright win last week at Pitt, and then 1-0 in that double-digit underdog role. They go and cover against Clemson, kind of backdoored Clemson, I think twice in that game to stay within the number. I think I've got it figured out a little bit why Virginia profiles so good as a large underdog, and I actually think that does play here. So Virginia, what they really want to do is run the football. That's kind of the MO of their offense. That's how they go into pretty much every game is a run the ball and run clock. But what I've noticed, and I really noticed it in the Clemson game, in the Wake Forest game, if you go back earlier this year, Virginia was trailing, I think, by 14, in the second half of that Wake Forest game. Virginia's offense is at its best when they kind of just take the reins off of Anthony Calandria, let him just go out, improvise, and make plays. And, that's really how they were able to kind of get within the number twice against Clemson, scored 2 late touchdowns to keep that one within the number. And it's kind of how they were able to switch it up on Wake Forest and come back after looking, very mediocre for the first, for the first half of that football game. And then even, just going back to their game plan for a second, when it is sort of working out, then you get the Louisville game where they kind of were able to get into a lead and just play, field position, chew up the clock, limit the number of possessions. And they only lost that game by 4. It was a 24-20 final. I also think Virginia's defense can be hit or miss, but they're a little bit underrated, and we saw what they can do when they show up last week. Held Pitt. That's not a bad Pitt offense. Eli Holstein's been really good this year, and they held Pitt to 292 yards and won that game with their defense, and then again their ability to sort of control the clock and run the ball when they have a lead. So that's why I think they profile great as a 20-plus point underdog, because if Virginia is able to control the ball, run it, and chew up clock, there's no way they're down by 21. But if they are down by 21, like, again, I'll point to the Clemson game, then it's sort of like, okay, Calandria, just go out and do something. And it's actually when their offense is the most explosive. So again, I think there's some merit to this team being a 3-possession underdog and it working out. Go back to last year. Virginia was in a very similar, let's put it this way. North Carolina was in a very similar spot to what Notre Dame is in this week, getting Virginia at home as a massive favorite in a game they should easily win. And last year, Virginia won as a 24-point underdog in Chapel Hill. Again, right around the same time of the season, similar spot for UNC, and Virginia sort of grinded them down and went in and won that game as a 24-point underdog. So one of those, 8-1 since 2020 as a double-digit underdog. One of those was as a 24-point dog last year, where Virginia won the game outright. So the model I use for college football has this Virginia plus 20. And so I do think there's a little bit of value in the number at 22.5. I think the better way to look at this and where you're going to be able to really sort of talk yourself onto the Virginia side is the track record that this Virginia team has as a large underdog. And the fact that there's some in-season, data that sort of supports that, right? Like the Clemson game being the most notable, but again, playing very well as a touchdown or more dog against Louisville. I believe that was 7.5. And then last week against Pitt, that was 7.5. So again, I don't see how you could take Notre Dame here laying over three touchdowns. That sounds, I know they've won and covered like some of these huge numbers, but remember, this is still a team that lost on this field to Northern Illinois. It seems like forever ago, but they've lost a game like this year. I'm not saying Notre Dame's going to lose this one. They certainly look more focused and like they're on a bit of a mission right now, especially last week. But Virginia is better right now than Florida State. Virginia is very good in this large underdog role. So for a free pick here, and who knows, we've got a lot of time this week. Maybe this will find its way out on my client card. I'm looking at Virginia. I think they're right around 22.5 right now. It's a really big number, and I expect them to keep it close in South Bend this weekend. Please like and subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel so we can continue bringing you free picks. Check me out across all platforms at Adam Trigger WT, and don't forget those two coupon codes, FBall50 and BBall30. It's going to get you $50 off the football rest of season, any handicapper, and $50 off any 30-day college basketball or NBA package. Good luck this weekend. Hope you guys cash all your tickets, and we'll see you guys next time.